Have you ever gone and done something and it ended up having like a completely different result than what you were expecting? Well, that was me when I first read How to Win Friends and Influence People. I picked it up because one of my mentors said, "You gotta read this book." And I was like, okay, cool, I'll read it. But I didn't realize how much of an effect it would have on my business and how I interacted and grew a huge, rapidly evolving, wild fan base on Facebook, starting all the way back in 2010. Right? I recommend this book to everybody who wants to make it big on social media because it teaches you how to become a better person. And so in this video, and how to really network and connect with people in a dynamic way. So what I'm going to teach you in this video is how I've taken the concepts and how to win friends and influence people, specifically the 6 ways to make people like you, and how I apply it to Facebook in really tangible, tactical things that you can do now to start growing your fan base there, start growing your business on Facebook, right? So it was a book that opened up doorways for me, and I'm hoping that what I share with you today will open up doorways for you too. Starting with the first piece of the 6 things that you need to do to get people to like you, right? And that's the first one is becoming sincerely interested in the other person, right? And what that really means is taking the thought off of you and putting it on the other person, right? So I've been reading Go Giver, Sell More by Bob Burg and John David Mann, and in that book they talk about how you only have room for one thought at a time. So if you're thinking about you, you can't be possibly thinking about them being the person that you're talking to at the same exact time. And people can pick up on that, right? So on Facebook, what I try to do as often as possible is when I make my Facebook statuses or I'm engaging in somebody's comments and posts, I'm making it about them. I talk as little bit as possible about me, which we're going to talk about in just a second here, right? Which leads us sort of like into step number 2. The 6 ways to make people like you, and that's smiling, right? A smile goes a long way. So how do you translate that on something like Facebook where most of it's like text and photos? Well, whenever you do post photos of you smiling. But more importantly, make sure that your profile photo is cropped in, it's got your face, right? Not a cartoon's face or, an animal or something like that, right? Your face smiling. Right? Because that picture, everywhere you comment, everything that you post, your face is attached, right? They call it Facebook for a reason. But a smile breaks down people's barriers. It makes people want to connect with you more. And I think that's one of the most important things that you can change right now if you don't already have this to really boost your ability to connect with people on Facebook just automatically, right? Smile more. And when you put like statuses together and you comment on people's stuff, this is kind of ninja. But put smiley emoticons, right? They've done some studies on this stuff, and they found that people that put smiley emoticons in their Facebook statuses get something crazy like 50 or 60% more engagement on their posts. Is that crazy or what? People love smiles. What can I say, right? Step number 3 of 6 ways to get people to like you and how you can apply this stuff to Facebook is to know that a person's name is the sweetest thing or the sweetest sound to anybody else. I forget how they said it in How to Win Friends and Influence People, but this is really simple. When you apply this to Facebook versus talking to somebody in person using their name, simply tag their name, right? Use the @ symbol, then type their name, click enter, and put their name. When you're addressing somebody, tag their name so that they get a separate notification that you're talking to them. Otherwise, it's easy to get lost in the shuffle on Facebook, especially if you're talking to somebody who's got a lot of influence and got a lot of people talking to them, right? So tag people when you're talking to them on Facebook, and they'll respond much more likely because they get a special notification on their notifications tab, right? Cool stuff. Number 4, be a good listener, right? This is kind of circling back to number 1. In order to be a good listener, I think you also have to be somebody who asks really great questions. And, my objective in a conversation is honestly to get people talking as much about them as possible. Because I've gone to so many networking events where people came back and they were like, I spoke 10% of the time when I'm talking to them. And next time I see them, they're like, oh my God, I had so much fun talking to you last time. Even though they were the one that was doing all the talking, right? That's rapport building 101. And if you can get people talking about themselves on Facebook, they're going to become closer and more connected to you in the long run. So how do you do that, right? You ask good questions, meaning you ask stuff that gets people to say more than just yes or no, or give you a one-sentence answer. Ask people, what are their dreams? What gets you fired up? What are you passionate about? What gets you up in the morning? Those are the kind of things that people can talk about. And when I do this stuff, I get crazy long letters on Facebook and stuff because I'm interested in hearing what other people have to say, and I'm a good listener. People will pour their hearts out to you, and they'll trust you more in the long run. Okay, that's step number 4, and I think that one's also very, very important when you're looking at the 6 different ways to get people to like you from How to Win Friends and Influence People. Okay, step number 5. I gotta look at my notes here really quick. Okay, talk in terms of the other person's interest. That's number 5. How does this work on Facebook? Well, go look at what people are posting, right? Go look at their about section. Find out, especially when you're making friends with somebody for the first time, what they're interested in, okay? And connect with them on exactly what that is. You could say, hey, I was just looking at your about section and noticed that you also live in Colorado. That's where I'm from. And hey, are you into the outdoors, right? Connect with them in terms of occupation, what they do for a living, if they have family, where they're from, like all that different stuff. You can find out a lot of it from somebody's about section, and you can connect with them in some of those more basic ways, right? And then escalate it to some of the stuff we talked about earlier. If you connect with somebody like in a Facebook group that's around a specific interest, like law of attraction or personal development or network marketing or whatever, that can be another place where you can first connect before you strengthen the relationship with other places. Does that make sense? Okay. And the 6th thing, the last one, right, is making other people feel important. Right. And I think the easiest way to do that is to give people a compliment, a sincere compliment, because people will know if you're real or not. And I think if you go back to step number 1, and truly being genuinely interested in other people, if you're really thinking about the other person, you're not thinking about you, it's easy to find gratitude for your connection with them. It's easy to be able to say, hey, like, it really was a pleasure talking to you. I can't wait till we speak next time. Or, I think you just talking to you added so much value to my life. I'm forever grateful for our new connection. Those kind of things can make people feel really, really important, okay? And that's how you build loyalty. That's how you build strong rapport. And that's how, when you take these 6 things and pile them up together from How to Win Friends and Influence People, you can build a raving fan base on Facebook who will come back over and over and over. They'll want to buy your stuff. They'll want to help you spread the word on a new campaign that you're doing. They might even come to your aid when you've got a flat tire on the side of the road and you're in a state where you don't normally live. I've actually had that happen. I've asked for help when I was on a road trip, and one of my Facebook friends came to the rescue. That doesn't happen unless you actually cultivate a relationship with the people that you're talking to. If you follow these 6 steps, you'll be well on your way. All right? So thanks for watching my video. Again, my name is Abram Gonzalez. I don't know if I said it at the beginning, but I'm saying it now. And if you want more information like this, go to my website at thatonlinemarketingthing.com, and you can find out more cool stuff, more tips and tricks to grow your business on the internet or grow a following on social media. I got all that cool stuff over there. And if you got something special here, please share this video. The world needs to hear this information. Thanks. See you in the next one.